Hi, this is Letty Sines. Welcome to Laredo Good News Bullying Can't Stop program. I want to encourage you today that we can overcome the effects of bullying. And if we can overcome the effects of bullying, then we can overcome bullying. Bullying is only successful if the bully succeeds in making the victim feel defeated or destroyed. If a victim can overcome defeat, then bullying is not working. If a victim is not destroyed by bullying, then bullying is not working. And I am saying today, with all anger against this creature called suicide, which is killing thousands of people, thousands of kids, thousands of students, every day, every year, kids are being destroyed. To me, it is the worst problem in all of the United States, more than all the other problems that we are going through as a nation, as a country, and even in this world. I believe that suicide due to bullying is the #1 problem right now, the #1 crisis. There is an urgency. We must move. We must act. We must make a difference. And I am here, standing here today, to tell you that if you happen to be a victim of bullying, I want to encourage you that you don't have to remain a victim of bullying. Being a victim of bullying can be your past. Being a victim of bullying can be a closed nightmare. And I say this with confidence because I was a victim of bullying for 13 long years, and actually a little bit more. But the most intense years of being a victim of bullying was a 13-year period where I was a slave. I was a slave in my own home. I couldn't even leave my house for a few minutes without being scared of coming back to the house, of getting into trouble for taking too long, maybe going to HEB, maybe going down the road. I was a slave. I was a victim in my house. If I left, I was under that pressure. If I was in the prison, the cage, in my own home, I was under pressure. Because if an ice cream man showed up at my door, or anybody showed up at my door, a male trying to sell anything, I was going to be accused of being unfaithful as the slave to my ex-bully. So I was beaten. I was bullied. I was beaten, but I wasn't buried. I didn't commit suicide. Thousands of people are committing suicide because they can't take it anymore. They can't take the pressure. They can't take the stress. And I know what it's like. I know what the stress is like. I know what the pressure is like. But I'm here to tell you today, if you or somebody you know is going through the stress and pressure of bullying, I'm here to tell you that you can overcome, that bullying can be overcome, that the stress can be overcome, that the abuse, the beatings can be overcome. It's like an example. A person who wants to kill somebody, called a murderer, is not successful if that person defends themselves and does not get killed. So even though the person is trying to murder the person, the victim or the target, if that person successfully defends themselves or himself or herself, then the murder is not successful. So likewise, bullying is not successful if the bully cannot make the person or the target feel defeated. And if today you feel defeated, cheated, mistreated, because you've been bullied like I was, in a severe way, I want to tell you today that you can conquer it. What are the effects? How does bullying make a person feel? How did it make me feel? How does it make you feel if you are a bully victim? There's anger, depression, low self-esteem, fear, anxiety, frustration, and yes, suicidal thoughts many times. Suicide is a major crisis, like I said earlier, that we must conquer. Someone told me that it came out in a news story that the cause of suicide was the disconnection of certain nerves in the brain. That there are some nerves that disconnect in the brain, and that when a person has committed suicide and they've done the autopsy, they find out that the person's brain nerves, the nerves in the brain, were disconnected from a certain part of the brain. So, what we must know what's going on in the brain when a person is committing suicide. Because in the years that I was in that vicious life of abuse, torment, tortured, beaten on the head, even treated as a sexual slave. Because if I was not submissive sexually, I would get beaten and tortured. But I'm out of that life today. And you can be out of that life too. But you must make a decision. You cannot say, I can't take it anymore, I can't live like this anymore, and you can't just keep saying that. You got to say, how do I get out of this life? What do I need to do to get out of this life? Well, while I was in that life, like I mentioned earlier, I went through all these negative feelings. Because when you're getting beaten and bullied and tortured and tormented, it's not fun. And it's very stressful, okay? But, again, I want to mention that you can be free. Now, if the effects of bullying are stress, anger, and depression, low self-esteem, everything else that's negative, if those are the results of bullying, and bullying makes people cry, okay? It's like crying and crying and crying and crying and feeling defeated. I know, because I felt like that. But you know what? I learned a secret weapon that helped me, that strengthened me, that gave me the power. Yes, the power. Physical power, mental power, emotional power, spiritual power. It gave me power. And if I didn't have that power, I would not be standing here today to help you to be free from bullying. Now, what is that power? Well, the power is laughter. Because, you see, laughter is the opposite of crying, okay? So, if you're getting bullied today, and you go home, and you go to your room, and you shut the door, and you go to your bed, and you're just thinking and thinking about all the quote-unquote, well, nightmare that the kids are putting you through at school. If you're just thinking about that, then your mind is being consumed with all this tormenting feeling. It's like you want to get it out of your mind. You don't want to think about it. You want to get home and enjoy being at home after school. You want to get home and enjoy a good TV show. You want to eat supper. But you're being tormented. And you're feeling like, you know, there's nothing you can do. You cannot go and physically stop those bullies. That's how you feel. You feel hopeless. You feel helpless. You feel overwhelmed. You feel like you're in this storm and all the wind is blowing around you, raging, thunder, lightning. You feel lost in the storm. But every storm comes to an end, my friend, and your storm is about to come to an end. Because my storm came to an end. My storm came to an end, and your storm can come to an end also. But you have to make a decision. I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision to not allow this man to destroy me. Now, what was it in this man that was trying to destroy me? What was in this man that was trying to destroy me was anger, depression, low self-esteem. Because I want to tell you something that's very important. Everything is important, but I want to make a very important point that bullies bully for a reason. They bully because they're full of all these negative emotions. They've been traumatized, they've been rejected, they've been abused. So if you're being bullied today, you're being bullied by a person who actually hates himself or herself, a person that hates his life or her life, but they hate themselves and their life because they've seen nothing but pain and misery and hurt. In other words, it's not their fault. They can't help it. They can't help the way they act because they don't know that they have the power to change. They think that they're going to be miserable for the rest of their lives, so they want to make your life miserable. But if you can begin to understand the mind of a bully, if you can begin to understand how a bully thinks, how a bully feels, then you won't destroy yourself. You won't want to end your life. You won't want to be crying all the time, okay? Because whenever, let's say today you got bullied in school, and you're just thinking, oh, I got bullied. Oh, they're telling me this and that. Oh, on the internet. Oh, on Facebook. Oh, on my text messages. Oh, I can't take it anymore. That's how they want you to feel. That's how the bully spirits want you to feel. But if you do the opposite, if you do the opposite, what's the opposite? If you start laughing about it, you might say, if I laugh about it, that's going to seem crazy. No, laughing is a weapon. Laughing is power. Laughing is strength. Bullies laugh. They hurt somebody and they laugh. And that laughter gives them more power. I'm not saying that you should laugh at the bully in his face. No, because you don't want to provoke. And I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just not saying to do that. What I'm saying is go home, shut the door, lay down on the bed, and instead of crying and screaming and feeling like you just want to pull your hair out, start laughing. Start laughing. Laugh at the bullying. Because let me tell you why you should laugh at the bullying. If you laugh at the bullying, you're going to feel different, okay? I learned how to start laughing at negative forces in my life during the time that I was a slave in the bullying experience and the abuse. I learned how to laugh, and I found out because I had already studied. I started doing some research. Oh, laughter, what about laughter? I started just wanting to learn everything about laughter. And so I started practicing laughter. And I started finding out that when I laughed, I felt stronger, I felt greater, I felt really awesome. I am going to promote laughter all over this world because I want everybody in this world to know how powerful laughter is. This is just a little taste. I'm giving you a little preview of the message that I want to get out to you and to the world. Because people are being destroyed every day because of negative emotions. Negative emotions kill people. Negative emotions make people sick. Negative emotions affect the mind, cause people to, it affects their mind and mental disorders. Negative emotions. And so positive emotions make us healthy and strong and powerful. Okay? And so I'm giving you different experiences, and I'm giving you a few notes here and there about my goals. But I want to talk a little bit about understanding the mind of the bully, because as I mentioned a while ago, a bully has issues from their past. So the bully must get over those issues in order to stop bullying. But if you let that bully destroy you, if you let the bullying make you feel like a defeated person, you're not going to change the bully. The bully, when the bully sees that the bullying is not destroying you, when the bullies see that their bullying is not bringing people down, then it's not going to be fun anymore. And when it's not fun anymore, then it stops. Because a bully wants to have fun. When a bully hurts somebody, when a bully hurts you, they're having fun. It brings them pleasure. Like a sadist. A sadist is one that gets pleasure by hurting others. So a bully never felt happy. A bully never felt loved. A bully never felt something positive. So when a bully bullies you or someone you know, that makes them feel good. It produces endorphins in their brain. Like they get a good laugh about it. They laugh about it after school. Who did you bully today? My bully, my ex-bully, used to say something. He used to say, I can't sleep well at night unless I know I've made somebody mad. And I thought that was kind of weird, but, the man was not, a typical person. So anything he said, I just like, whatever, right? So, but now I understand. You see, I begin to understand because this man was traumatized. He would tell me that his mother used to get beaten by his father, even breaking bottles of ketchup on her head. He was traumatized. He said his father was terrible. No love, no communication. So that helped me to understand why he was the way he was. Did that make it easier to get beaten and bullied? It didn't make it easier, but it helped me not to be destroyed. Because if I would listen to all the negative things he told me and take them seriously, then I would really be affected by it because I would say something's wrong with me. He would make me feel like I was no good, I had no future, I could never do anything right. He was always putting me down. He was always making me feel like a loser. And that's what bullies do. They make people want to feel like losers because they feel like losers. So, if you're being bullied today, from now on, I want you to remember that when you're getting bullied, you are being attacked by a person that hates himself or herself, hates his or her life, and that's the only reason they're bullying you. Because if they were happy, if they had love, if they had attention, if they were not traumatized, then they would not be bullying you. So you need to remember, it's not your fault. You need to understand the mind of the bully. Okay? So, from now on, I want you to start laughing. That's what I do every day. I've been doing this for years. Okay? Because if you don't start laughing, then the stress of bullying is going to put you into depression. And then, unfortunately, thousands of kids are turning to drugs and alcohol every day because of stress and pressure. And I'm going to be talking about this on another program. So, I want you to tell all your friends about this program called Bullying Can't Stop. And I want you to take it seriously, and I want you to get help from my story, from my testimony, and from what I have to share with you. So thank you for joining me, and I will be looking forward to the next time that I can share my message with you. Thank you very much.